Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
The Print Off the Cuff, presented by IIFL Wealth and Asset Management, corporate partner AU Small Finance Bank, in association with global insurance brokers, airline partner SpiceJet, in alliance with Indraprasth Apollo Hospitals.
We've all heard of the resource curse. How did nutmeg emerge as your metaphor for the resource curse? How did you make that discovery and how did it happen?
Well, it happened literally by traveling to this place, the Banda Islands. The nutmeg tree was endemic to the Banda Islands. Nobody knows where the Banda Islands are today because they're in the far, far east of Indonesia, really, very far away.
They're just about 12 kilometers by 7 kilometers or something.
That's right. Yeah. It's a tiny archipelago, but until the 18th century, every single nutmeg on earth grew in the Banda Islands. And really, when Vasco da Gama and all the navigators, when they came into the Indian Ocean, it's true that they came to India first, but what they were really looking for was the Spice Islands, which are in Indonesia. And they went there as quickly as they could. And from the beginning, they had just this one plan, which was to impose a monopoly of certain spices. And the Dutch took it to its ultimate extreme. And in 1621, they sent a fleet to the Banda Islands, and they basically just massacred every single Bandanese. I mean, they drove a few managed to escape, but the rest were either killed or enslaved. It's the most ghastly story. It's one of the first early modern genocides. And what is so ghastly about it is that it was all because of a tree. This unbelievably wonderful tree, the nutmeg tree. But the nutmeg tree brought disaster upon the Bandanese, just like the clove tree, which was endemic to another part of the Spice Islands, of the northern Spice Islands, Maluku Utara, as they call it. that also brought disaster on those islands, but not to the degree to which it happened in the Banda Islands. And I think for me, it was very important to see it in this way. Going there really taught me something about the way the world is. Because, these great gifts that the earth gives us, the way that we have abused them, the way that the world has abused them, and this was completely led by European colonizers, in the 17th and 16th, 17th, 18th centuries. These became absolute curses. And we see this curse most of all now in relation to oil. Look at Iraq. Iraq has basically been destroyed by the resource curse. Similarly, we can see in India, you may know I wrote these 3 books called the Ibis Trilogy,
yes.
Which has a lot to do with actually the opium cultivation by the British in India. And as you know, opium was largely grown by the British in Purvanchal.
To be sold into the Chinese forcibly.
That's right. To be forcibly sold to the Chinese. And that's the curse that opium has put on our relations with China. Really, we don't often recognize it. But most of all, it has put a curse on Purvanchal. The backwardness of this entire region, Bihar and Eastern UP, is completely traceable to opium. There are many studies which show you, the ways in which opium became a resource curse for Bihar. Just think about it. Historically, this region, Purvanchal, was the richest, most prosperous part of India. This is where all the great empires were, the Mauryas, the Guptas, everything. How is it that within 100 years, this became the poorest, most backward part of our nation? And really, it's completely traceable, to opium. So to this day, actually, you can see that, the resource curse hangs upon so many parts of our country. We can see with uranium mining in Jharkhand, we can see with coal mining. This curse is spreading across the planet incredibly fast. It's exactly as Mahatma Gandhi said, we are devouring the earth like locusts.
Well, people ask very often that how come only dictatorial regimes have oil or Islamic dictators have oil? And the answer to that is that oil gives dictators a wherewithal to sustain themselves because they can bribe their people with it and do their own stuff. And
Absolutely, absolutely. But there have been studies which also show that oil is very much connected to religious fundamentalism. And not just in the Middle East. I mean, it's certainly no coincidence that Saudi Arabia has sponsored Islamic extremism in so many parts of the world. But we also see that even in Norway, oil comes from areas where there's the most sort of evangelical fundamentalism. It's also true in the United States. You see across the United States, wherever there is oil, there is also this kind of religious fundamentalism.
Why?
So, sorry?
I mean, why? We know that there is a correlation, but what's the cause?
I can't explain it, but it goes back really, to the very beginnings of this. There is a sort of distinct connection between, generally sort of right-wing thinking, but also religious extremism in relation to oil. Or, we think that these things, oil, for example, or take opium, whatever, that they are inert, that they played no active role in human life. But in fact, we have become slaves of these things. We have become slaves of fossil fuels. Just take another example. 30, 40 years ago, just in terms of geopolitics, would anyone have said to you that these tiny Middle Eastern kingdoms, like Qatar or the Emirates, that they would become major geopolitical players? Yet you look at it now, those kingdoms have their fingers in every geopolitical pie, no matter whether it's Afghanistan or Kashmir or India-Pakistan disputes or Syria. It's these tiny countries that are now literally running a large part of the geopolitics of the world. And in fact, more than any other place, they've figured out the United States and the United Kingdom. They know how to manipulate the United States and the United Kingdom better than almost anybody else. So, the enormous geopolitical power that these countries have accumulated is a real issue. It's a real issue going forward.
The Print Off the Cuff, presented by IIFL Wealth and Asset Management, corporate partner AU Small Finance Bank, in association with global insurance brokers, airline partner SpiceJet, in alliance with Indraprasth Apollo Hospitals.